Mr. Speaker, H.R. 6090 is designed to combat the deeply disturbing trend of anti-Semitic harassment in schools, colleges, and universities across the country. We're seeing it unfold right now on our television screens. Anti-Semitic harassment on these university campuses is unfortunately not a completely new phenomenon. As early as 2005, the U.S. Commission on Civil Rights warned that campus anti-Semitism had become a serious problem. In 2013, a Pew Research Center survey of Jewish Americans found that experience with anti-Semitism was more prevalent among young adults in higher education. In 2014, a Brandeis Center Trinity College study found that anti-Semitism was particularly pervasive on college campuses, with 54% of Jewish students on 55 campuses having reported that they experienced or witnessed anti-Semitism during the 2013-2014 academic year. In 2021, the Louis Brandeis Center for Human Rights Under Law conducted a survey of Jewish fraternity and sorority students, finding that most have felt unsafe at some point while on campus and in virtual campus settings. These fears are justified. The catalog of anti-Semitic harassment in America's top institutions of higher learning is there for everybody to see. Those incidents have increased sharply following the October 7, 2023 terrorist attacks in Israel perpetrated by Hamas and its allied groups. In late October 2023 at Cooper Union in New York, visibly Jewish students were forced to shelter inside a library as pro-Palestinian protesters tried to gain entry, banging on doors and windows with the purpose of terrifying them. On October 26, 2023, anti-Israel protesters assaulted multiple Jewish students at Tulane University in New Orleans. On November 3, 2023, a Harvard law student and other anti-Israel protesters physically and verbally attacked a first-year Israeli student at the Harvard Business School while he pleaded with them to stop. From October 7th until mid-January of 2024, the Department of Education has launched 51 investigations into complaints alleging discrimination based on actual or perceived shared ancestry in K-12 schools and colleges and universities. From January 16, 2024 until today, the department has launched over 45 investigations into schools and colleges. These investigations overwhelmingly concern anti-Semitic conduct in these schools. In fact, on April 23, 2024, the Education Department launched an investigation into Columbia University, and we all know what's happening there right now. Hundreds of anti-Israel protesters have occupied Columbia University's West Lawn and erected dozens of tents, disrupting campus life and creating a hostile environment for Columbia's Jewish students. Hundreds of pro-Hamas students were arrested for trespassing after repeated warnings to vacate the area, only to be released and returned to Columbia. A rabbi at Columbia's Orthodox Union Jewish Learning Initiative has advised Jewish students to leave campus because the university has shown that it cannot keep them safe. Columbia revoked the campus access of a Jewish professor who's been critical of school administrators because the university said it couldn't ensure his safety. Speaker Johnson, Chairwoman Fox, and Republican members of the New York delegation went to Columbia University last week, and while addressing the campus were greeted by anti-Israel chants of "From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free." What that calls for actually is the eradication of the Jewish people. We all know that expression is abhorrent in our society, and yet it's going on, it seems now, hourly on our college campuses. Mr. Speaker, enough is enough. The surge and the ancient bigotry of anti-Semitism over the years, but especially since October 7th, must not continue. It's long past time that Congress act to protect Jewish Americans from the scourge of anti-Semitism on campuses around our country. The Anti-Semitism Awareness Act expresses the sense of Congress that discrimination against Jews may violate Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 when it's based on race, color, or national origin, which can include discrimination based on actual or perceived shared ancestry or ethnic characteristics. The bill requires the Department of Education to take into account the 2016 International Holocaust Remembrance Act's definition of anti-Semitism as part of its assessment of whether anti-Semitic discrimination has occurred. The IHRA definition provides a consistent framework for the Department of Education schools, colleges, and universities to apply to police anti-Semitic discrimination and harassment. The IHRA's definition is widely accepted and a vital tool for identifying and addressing discriminatory conduct that's motivated by anti-Semitism, and it's been adopted by at least 31 states. This bill is exactly the type of legislation needed to protect Jewish Americans from harassment and attacks for simply being who they are. I urge all members to support this important bill, and I reserve the balance of my time.